From mighty empires to the hands that carved them, who are the most influential players in the history of Stoneworks? Not the usual names, not just emperors, not just architects. We're talking about the least expected people, the overlooked minds, the forgotten hands. Please like and subscribe, and watch some of my other videos. The first player we're going to talk about is RedFireRex, without a doubt one of the most influential figures in Stoneworks history. If you don't already know who RedFireRex is, he's one of the most, if not the most famous content creators in the Stoneworks community, second only to Stoney himself. He first joined all the way back in 2021, making his mark by starting a civil war in Huitka. But that's not what made him famous, it was the story he told. RFR uploaded the first episode of his series, and it blew up, drawing in thousands of new players. His content didn't just entertain, it inspired. It gave Stoneworks a narrative backbone, a living history. To be honest, it's what got me into Stoneworks when I first saw his videos. Through his video, his storytelling, and his presence on the server, RedFireRex helped transform Stoneworks from a Minecraft server into Stoneworks, a server that no one could replicate. Elfuego, better known as Athaz, joined Stoneworks on October 8, 2021. He began humbly pledging himself to the Kingdom of Aurora, where he trained under the esteemed Order of Aurora. Athaz quickly rose through the ranks, besting seasoned warriors and proving himself in the fires of discipline and combat. During the Second Ultarashi Civil War, Athaz took up arms for the crown. He fought and won at the battles of and New Kool-Aid City, but his involvement in the sacking of a wealthy shop in Eldaham triggered a powerful backlash. In retaliation, a coalition from Eldaham launched an invasion into his country, resulting in the Battle of Fornost. Though victorious on the field, Aurora/Ultarashi Crown was forced to pay a crippling $20 million. Athaz then moved to Eldaham, where his friend Nixie gave him shelter in her nation, Yazuma. In return, Athaz reformed the military of Yazuma, reshaping its army with the battle-tested doctrines of Aurora and Ultarash. He soon led a successful campaign against Atlanta in revenge for their raids, strategizing and commanding a war that ended in a single, crushing battle. Recognized for his leadership, Athaz was summoned back to Rathnir to aid the Marshal of Ultarash in preparations for war with Bardonia. Although the battle never came to pass due to a treaty, his growing reputation earned him a place in Ultarash's high command. He went on to command in numerous conflicts and founded one of the most infamous mercenary groups in Stoneworks history, Aragotha. In one of his most daunting campaigns, Aragotha clashed with the strongest military force in Rathnir at the time, the Vinovian Horde. The Vinovian Horde first pushed them back, but then the tide turned, and ultimately the Vinovian Horde was crushed by a crusade. Later he became king in Eldaham, forging his territories into a powerful nation, with Aragotha at his side. He unified his lands into a vast empire, the Empire of Ashai. For months, Ashai stood defiant, holding its ground against whoever was foolish enough to face them, surviving all the way until the comet struck Rathnir. Athaz most definitely left a powerful mark. Unicorn Boy, Dictator, Emperor. He was a key player in one of, if not the server's most influential nation ever, Bardonia. One of the most controversial yet influential players in Stoneworks history, he played a central role in shaping one of the server's most powerful nations ever. The first three Bardonian governments were structured as oligarchs, ruled collectively by the founding members, but things changed during the Second Republic. At a critical moment, Bardonia's leadership voted to end their ongoing campaign of world conquest. Everyone except for Unicorn Boy. Disillusioned, he left Bardonia. But he didn't go quietly. After his departure, the nation fell into chaos. Crazy Man, the ruler appointed by the oligarchy, eventually reached out, begging Unicorn Boy to return and save Bardonia from collapse. Unicorn Boy agreed, but under one condition: Bardonia would abolish its democracy and submit to him as emperor. And so it did. Under his rule, Bardonia became a dominant force. Unicorn Boy didn't reshape a nation, he reshaped Stoneworks' politics. He was one of the 3 founding figures of the Trillium Alliance, which would go on to ignite the first ever world war. Love him or hate him, Unicorn Boy's legacy is carved deep into the foundation of Stoneworks' history. BackToTheHub, the original ruler of Bardonia, was the one who started it all, a foundational figure. He led Bardonia to victory against Ultarash, shattering their unity and altering the course of the server's early history. I just wanted him to be in the video next to Unicorn Boy. There was a time a man on Stoneworks controlled over 50% of the economy. His name was Imperius. Early on, when Rathnir was first born from the embers of the dark, a player named Imperius set up a small market stall, known as the Imperius Pawn Shop, which opened in late November 2021. Back then, most shops were either in-person trades or small Discord-based setups that could take weeks to fulfill an order. The Imperius Pawn Shop was different though. It became the first truly successful shop on Stoneworks. What made it stand out wasn't just the low prices, it was speed and security. Trading at spawn was technically not allowed, and banditry was common. But Imperius took a new approach. They offered protected trades, personally ensuring the safety of every customer. It was revolutionary at the time, and it earned them serious customer loyalty. As Stoneworks grew, so did Imperius. They launched weekly giveaways, exclusive deals, all lower priced than the market average. They didn't just sell items, they shaped the economy. They transformed the market, moving it from physical shops to a more online, fast, scalable economy. At the height of their power, with the looming threat of invasion from Rathnir, Elfuego united under the Imperius Pawn Shop banner. For the first time in Stoneworks history, a marketplace controlled hundreds of players and managed hundreds of millions of dollars. Though the empire fell apart just a few days later, to this day, Imperius Pawn Shop is estimated to have made 50 to 60 million. Athaz, the Columbus of Stoneworks, the man who slayed a goddess, united the world multiple times, and led his kingdom. Athaz joined Stoneworks like any other player, just another face in a growing world. But through friendships forged across continents, he rose quickly, drawn deeper into the web of politics as tensions mounted. He founded the Map Guild, one of the largest and undeniably the most influential guild in Stoneworks history. His legacy doesn't stop there. Athaz was the first to discover Elfuego, hence why he's Columbus. He led a crusade that united the 4 greatest empires of the time through diplomacy and resolve. It was Athaz himself who struck the final blow, slaying the crazed goddess Entropy, who was wreaking havoc at the time. He holds the longest reign of any leader in Stoneworks, having founded his nation in December 2020 and guiding it still. From steering empires behind the curtains to the world stage, Athaz has been a constant presence and architect of the world itself. The world would be drastically different without him, so thank you.